FiiO tries to capture that warm vintage sound with their new portable CD player, and they really are investing a lot of money into improving and adapting their R2R technology, and it is becoming an important staple into a FiiO arsenal. On the box itself, there is no FiiO logo, there is only R2R logo, and that is what they want to present to future buyers and listeners. You're listening to special R2R product made by FiiO. I already spoke about how FiiO is building sort of like a house sound for all their future products, and more about that you can actually read and watch in my review of FiiO K13 R2R DAC, and the link will be in the description of this video. But there is a lot of advantages of smooth and warm sonic signature, which works well with many systems and helps with all kinds of production from bad to great to sound even better. The FiiO DM15 R2R is a modern portable CD player that doubles as a high-resolution USB DAC, balanced headphone amp, Bluetooth transmitter and CD ripping machine, all packed into sleek, portable chassis aimed at listeners who want premium sound without being tied to a full desktop system. This is all trying to give flexibility to a modern listeners. Many of us had CD rippers as a standard thing in PCs back in the day. Now nobody have them anymore. So this can easily become your CD ripper. It also serves not just a CD player, but to use it widely enough as purely DAC to improve other aspects of your hi-fi system, and even to play DSD files through it. A lot of great things that this helps not just as a portable device, but also as a quasi desktop variation as well. This unit uses a custom, fully differential 24-bit R2R resistor array DAC built from 192 precision resistors to recreate a warm analog-like sound signature. It supports USB DAC up to 384 kHz in 32 bits and DSD up to 256. Balanced and single-ended headphone outputs, digital outputs, and a robust 4700 mAh battery for about 7 to 10 hours of playback. There is also a balanced power, reaches up to 1150 milliwatts per channel into 32 amps, giving enough oomph for demanding headphones. I think this is more than enough power for most headphones to be driven comfortably. The DM15 R2R features a premium aluminum chassis with a transparent tempered glass top that shows the spinning CD, giving a pleasing retro aesthetics. An LSD shows track info and settings. Overall build quality really feels robust and durable, significantly better than generic portable CD players back in the day, definitely. But I have a lot of problems here. The buttons are small, round, and there is no tactile feeling to them, which makes hitting the right button a chore. As always, I had to lift the CD player to look at the layout of buttons and carefully click on them to play, pause, next track, equalizer button, etc. And I think that is because they try to put too many things in that front panel. There is a screen, those main control buttons, volume knob. There's also 3.5 and 4.4mm headphones output. There's also a button to switch between CD and USB DAC. There's also a Bluetooth SPDF out, pre-out, and the Magic Base 1 and 2. All of this I can see being used for versatility's sake, except the Magic Base, which I really just don't like. I used to test it a little bit. The sound gets distorted so much that I really do not understand why would anyone listen to music like that. So Magic Base is not for me. But maybe I'm wrong here. I will leave that as an open point. But with the desktop mode, which is taken from FiiO dApps, it helps bypass the battery and to be used as a desktop CD player, not using the battery so much, prolonging its life. So, like even those main buttons, there's like play, pause, forward, backwards, there's the equalizer button, there's a lot of buttons there, but they're just so small and invisible that I could never hit the right button correctly. I always had to pick up the device, look at it, and then click on the button that I need. I completely understand versatility, but I think just some better information architecture would definitely benefit here, to have the more commonly used buttons to be more emphasized and bigger, and those rarely used one to be smaller or just hidden away in like additional menu. But they sort of find a way to help with this situation with inclusion of a remote control. Yes, remote control. You can interact with CD player without physically touching it. So it does help. It really, well, it helps. But I walk a lot of times with my CD players, and usually I just don't know where remote is because I go from room to room and don't carry like a remote with me. So it is a great thing, but I would personally prefer a better layout of buttons. It is a portable device, as actually it is not weighty, it's actually pretty decently light. Regarding to the back of the device, there is a coaxial and balanced in. There's also USB for connecting external devices to its DAC, and Bluetooth, which I think is also an important part of this device. It is, of course, all the great flavors of Bluetooth like aptX, HD, LDAC, adaptive, etc. But overall, it is small enough, slim enough, and light enough to be easily carried around. I love the form factor a lot here. If you can get those great leather covers as well for them, they look really beautiful and it's easy to carry with you. It's really, those leather covers that you can buy on FiiO website is mwah. Regarding sound, if you look for R2R CD player that costs around $270, which is an amazing price point for this CD player, then go out to buy this player right now. You will not be able to find player in this category that is R2R that sounds this good and costs this much. The signature of DM15 R2R is defined by its custom fully differential 22-bit R2R resistor ladder DAC, which aims to deliver a more neutral, analog-like musicality compared with the more common Delta Sigma DACs found in most portable players. This design choice generally results in a sound that can be described as warmer, smoother, and more organic, especially in the mid-range and lower frequencies. So, as you can expect, bass is warmer and smoother. The lower midsection and upper bass is giving easygoing, smooth presentation, especially seen in vocals, mostly male vocals. The DM15 R2R tends to have a slight warm tilt, giving rich, full mids and bass that makes vocals, acoustic instruments and jazz textures feel more engaging and forward-leaning. Bass has good weight and presence, with enough impact to give rhythm sections a satisfying sense of momentum without feeling boomy. The unit's optional bass modes and multiple EQ presets let you dial in a stronger low end if you prefer more impact through boosting bass can slightly affect mid-range clarity, as it is common with a simple bass boost circuits. But as everything else, your headphones, if they are clear or even bright, might benefit from this. Even if you want a big, large bass, your headphones needs to be talented enough to reproduce that bass. This is a decently clear CD player, but don't expect that it tries too hard for it to be very transparent and with utmost black background. but it does conduct the instruments on soundstage to be clear and vivid enough. It makes the instruments sound weighty and more impactful, but yet very rounded in soundstage. While the R2R architecture emphasizes musical flow and analog texture, it doesn't mean details is absent. Micro details and subtle harmonic textures remain present, but the overall presentation isn't as clinical or hyper-analytical as some Delta Sigma DACs. Instead, the focus is on organic coherence and relaxed detail retrieval. And the soundstage is rather decent as well. Actually, I really liked it. It helped the lower register open more. And when that happens, it usually spreads the instruments more, same like adding a sub opens the soundstage more. And with any talented gear that have enough big drivers, it will have a great soundstage. The DM15 R2R isn't tuned for reference neutral accuracy. Instead, it offers a musical, smooth, slightly warm and analog-leaning sound character with satisfying bass density, a relaxed treble and organic mid-range richness. This makes it particularly appealing to listeners who value musical engagement and warmth over hyper-analytical neutrality. As far as synergy and pairing goes, it is not that hard to understand that this CD player works better with more neutral or bright speakers. But I can see a scenario for someone who enjoy really large, weighty and big sound, kinda also enjoy this with the warmer headphones, as that drive and smoothness will be put to the max and in scale to some clarity and resolution. Now, I had luck in my life that I tried many of the portable CD players, and I will go through them how they differ from DM15 R2R. Maybe the best comparison is the Shanling EC Zero T. It is also a R2R portable CD player, but with the addition of tube headphone amplifier. Now let's go over the big thing. It is a $300 more expensive. You can actually buy two DM15s for price of one EC Zero T. But is it worth it that much? Well, it might. It is, in my opinion, a better designed with better layout device, just easier to use. It is an incredible, spacious and lush presentation that can be warmer and neutrally based on what you choose. Its DAC is more capable into decoding bigger file formats, including DSD 512. But there is a plenty of ways to model and manipulate sound in EC Zero T, like OS, NOS, solid state tube. When you avoid tubes, the sound is neutral and clean, while with tubes it is more lush and warm. It have a stronger headphone amplification than FiiO, so it can drive more headphones easily. I think all that DM15 does, EC Zero T does a little bit better. But the major question is that worth more $300? I think in 70 to 80% cases, especially if you have like a cheaper headphones, you might not be so much invested in sound differences. But in that other 20 to 30%, the more bass definition you get, the more soundstage you get with the great recorded music and even the great clear sound in solid state mode, it's truly worth it. But that is like with any hi-fi gear, you never get your money worth, but you get definitely more sonics with that additional $300. But there is one thing I want to add here, and that is EC Zero AKM. It is also a little bit more expensive device, around $40 more. And here is the real battle. EC Zero AKM does something better and something worse. Firstly off, as design-wise, I like more Shanling. I liked how buttons are obviously placed and how it is easy to see and understand what they do and easy to click them, even though many additional options are hidden in sub-menu. I rarely use them, so I don't need them like FiiO, like all on control board. But FiiO have a stronger headphone amplification, both in desktop mode and portable. FiiO have this beautiful smooth sound, more definition in bass. It have these great vocals and great sound stage, like those smooth weighty vocals that you can listen like until eternity. But Shanling, on other hand, have much more clarity and details. It just resolves so much better. I think it is more what kind of audiophile you are. Some rock songs I really enjoyed with FiiO, with that definition and drive, and if you like more vocals that are smooth, laid back, and just lush and beautiful, I think FiiO did a good and great job here. A more clarity and emphasis on textures when you listen like jazz, for example, with AKM. It just is more fun to analyze and organize music and just hear all the micro details. It is just cleaner more, it opens detail far more in treble and it is more rhythmical sound. While DM15 is more driven, musical and passionate. Here also plays a big role what kind of headphones you have. While FiiO can play with any headphones, AKM is just too much with really bright headphones. Also, in my comparison, it seems that AKM can last the longest out of all the CD players. There, its battery just held far more. So those two things you can think about, like what kind of headphones you have, or if you need battery it can just last. Regarding the Moondrop Discdream 2 Ultra, it is also a similarly priced device at around $40 to $50 more. It is an interesting player for two reasons. First, the build quality, while being aluminum similar to FiiO, is built really rigidly. It really feels like a product that can really last a long time. And it is also heavier than others because of that significantly. And secondly off, it uses Serious Logic DACs, and they sound the most neutral out of all of them. So we have two R2R DACs, one AKM and now one Serious Logic. It is a great depending on what kind of audiophile you are. It is truly a CD player that I think will work with many different headphones. It just works with all headphones. But it is a great sounding portable CD player. It has a truly great soundstage. The instruments on soundstage seems on their plane and their place. It's very well organized and you can see how it allows for a greater textures that way. To see how something is produced and mastered. It is the most clear CD player out of the bunch. Now, if you miss more bass definition, you can go with FiiO DM15, or more details and extension, then you will go with Shanling. There's all the flavors in this world for you to choose to what kind of CD players do you want. But Moondrop really sounds really clean. It really allows your headphones to be the main driver. It truly shows a great transparency and separation between vocals, instruments. You can really pinpoint and sort of like those imaging of vocals, you can truly pinpoint where it is and it is clear and easy to see, including all the instruments on soundstage. I really love DM15 R2R. I think it is that soft, musical and smooth portable goodness that we need. And with M33 R2R from FiiO, it is a cheaper way to carry R2R player with you. There is a lot to love here, from sound and features that it gives to you, to remote, to good looking design and build quality, inputs and outputs. They really gave you a lot for the now, in comparison to competitor, a cheapest price without sacrificing quality. So regarding competitors, it truly has the smallest price without sacrificing anything. In summary, the FiiO DM15 R2R is a feature-rich, well-built portable CD player that brings a hint of analog warmth and a modern digital convenience into one package. With its powerful outputs, versatile connectivity, and satisfying sound character, it is a compelling choice for both CD collectors and listeners seeking a hybrid portable-to-desktop audio solution, especially if you appreciate a musical, engaging sound signature and hands-on control. even though you do not get the best clarity or detail retrieval in this price range. But I definitely recommend this one. It absolutely is worth its asking price. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing. See you on the next video. Keep daydreaming. Bye.